Hello, we are live from Las Vegas, and you are listening to the OmniTalk Fast Five, brought to you in partnership with Microsoft, the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, Takeoff, and Sezzle. The OmniTalk Fast Five podcast is the podcast that we hope makes you feel a little smarter, but more importantly, a little happier each week too. Today is March 30th. I am your host, Ann Mazinga.
And I am Chris Walton.
And we are here once again to discuss all the top headlines making waves in the world of omni-channel retail. Chris, we are alive still?
We survived Shop Talk. We survived another week in Vegas. Another 4 or 5 nights in Vegas. I've lost count. Even though it's a pretty tame Vegas weekend, we were in bed by like 8:30 last night.
Oh my
gosh! While everyone else is booming to Flo Rida.
Oh my gosh!
Flavor Flav,
getting in the pool.
Reportedly Cardi B too. I have not. Yeah, people were getting in the pool last night
with their all white clothes.
All white. It was an all white party, right?
People
were extreme.
People were let out the house. As they say.
That is true. That is true. But man, it was fun.
Oh,
you crushed it today too.
Oh,
you were on
thanks.
stage. Yeah. Well, yesterday for those listening live to this for when we air it, but you crushed it. You had the panel. You did the panel on the Fast Five technologies to look for in the future that you would bet on, and you had a cool group of panelists that shared their thoughts and insights with you.
The panelists were amazing. I think the best part about it was we took what was a very forward-thinking shop talk, and I think we're able to make that actionable for some retailers and brands in the audience as they, leave here. Shop talk's always great about being like a very innovative conference, but then how do you take those things home and actually start to do something?
That's a great point. I think the audience should know that too, because like my favorite part of it was at the end. You said like, okay, we just talked about 5 different technologies that people need to have on their roadmap, and you said which of them would you prioritize?
Yeah.
And most of the discussion was around fit tech and some around the metaverse and some around visual AI. Mm-hmm. And to a person, they all said, you know what? You just got to get fulfillment right now, right? Like just get the basics of that right. It's table stakes. And that's an important thing to remember that, with the gloss and glam of all the things that we can talk about technologically and all the startups here, that the blocking and tackling is still where the much of the bulk of retail is made. Retail is detail, as my boss, Don Block, used to say, and shout out to Don.
That's a good quote.
Retail is detail.
Yeah, I like that too. It's not as good as everyone is welcome at this craft table that we heard from Michael's today, but
everyone is welcome at the Michael's craft table. Yes, that's true. We did hear that. But hey, I want to give a real shout out to you before we get started, and we'll get into the headlines here in a second. Real big thank you to our sponsors again. Of course, Meta for all the great podcasts they help us put out this week. I think our best podcast in history for a show. And of course, Firework, who's our partner on the live streaming. They were the talk of the town too.
Oh my
of all
gosh.
The startups, they were
the
ones.
Of the ball.
Yep. My buddy Ken Pollock came up to me. He's like, "Did you hear about Firework?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. They're our sponsor. We've been on them for a while. They're great." But shout out to Ken too. We love him. All right, you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's get it.
Let's do this. All right, in today's Fast Five, we've got news on Instacart unveiling a whole new suite of services, Red Wing shoes, and fit tech. Adidas plans to take over college sports. Walmart suing PJs over Scan and Go. But first, we take off with some of the greatest news we have heard in a long time. And
yes, sorry about that, Chris. I was keeping you from your read.
It's okay. I had to do that read on the spot.
Headline number 1. So buy now, pay later is coming to the pump, y'all. Gas prices are high, and now you can split those into 4 easy payments. Klarna is partnering with Chevron and Texaco to let customers pay for their gas in interest-free installments. So according to Retail Leader, Klarna has alerted users of its app that they can grab gas or snacks at these retailers and cover it and split the cost over 6 weeks. Chris, we are also bringing it right to you this morning. We're gonna dive right in.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure I'm getting the question.
A&M Consumer and Retail Group. They want to put you on the spot first thing today.
Let's do it. Bring it. I'm 4 days in Vegas, but I'm ready.
You are ready.
I'm ready.
All right, here it is. So clearly, buy now, pay later has been a rising trend, but it is somewhat surprising to see it hit a routinely necessary category like gasoline. What do you think? Is this a great fintech innovation that solves a genuine consumer need during these unprecedented inflationary times, or have we now fallen too far down the slippery slope of credit issuance? That's a great question.
That is a great question. I love that. I love what we do with them every week. It's such a great partnership. A&M Consumer and Retail Group. They always bring great questions. But anyway, I would answer that question very simply. I actually think this solves a consumer need at all times. All times. It's not related to the pandemic. It's not related to inflation. It's just a need that everyone has all the time, which is stretching their budgets as far as possible. That is a basic human desire.
Yes.
So for me, this is cancel freaking Christmas, Ann.
Yeah.
I freaking love this. My only question is, and I've taken freaking full credit for this. I first wrote, this is my very first national article I ever wrote in 2017. Retail Dive picked it up. Shout out to the editor at the time, Laura Heller, who took a chance on me. And I wrote the article about Affirm and Walmart and how one day I could see buy now, pay later.
Oh yeah, I remember
coming into the grocery space even. And so that's my thing. I think gasoline totally makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, you're using credit cards at the pump. It's just a different form of credit that is paid for by the retailer.
Yeah.
Right. And if the retailer is willing to take that cost, get that conversion, which I think you got to think about, right, in this day and age.
Yep.
I think it's not long before we're going to see it come into grocery. I was talking about this with some people at the show. Like, it's pretty prevalent as the dominant form of credit in other places like Australia at this point.
Right.
This thing's exploding. It's only a amount of time. I'd love to see somebody like a Walmart be big and bold right now. Give back to America. Put America first. Put their brand promise of save money, live better first. We'll see. Time will tell. But yes, I think it is. To answer that question unequivocally, I think this is a need that is always out there.
I completely agree. I think I can understand the hesitancy with buy now, pay later exploding and some of the concerns around, is this just going to get people into more debt? It's, just because it's got a different name, it's still, know, credit. However, I think that the difference here is that, again, like you said, Chris, the retailers are taking on the costs of those installment. They're securing those. Yeah. And the alternative for a lot of people are things like payday loans. I mean, it's like being gouged to get an advance on your paycheck. And so I think that this makes a ton of sense in these categories, especially more so in these categories than anything else. Like this to me should have been like the first place that we started to see BNPL roll out versus like, paying for a TV in 10 installments or whatever.
Yeah. Even the people that like use their credit card at the pump to pay off their bill every month, like it's still better for them to split the payments. Right. So like it's helping everyone. Right. This is why I love this technology. It literally helps everyone in every situation. Yes, we need more regulation. Yes, people are calling for it. Hopefully it comes. But anyway, we move on. All right. This was my favorite headline of the weekend.
I know.
I think it starts to give me some justification for some predictions I made at the end of last year, but we'll get to that in a second. So Instacart announced the launch of Instacart Platform, a suite of technologies and services for retailers. And according to the fun handout left on the chair of the auditorium in advance of the Instacart CEO's keynote at Shop Talk, the services include 5 key areas, which are e-commerce, fulfillment, in-store technology, ads, and insights. And your thoughts before I rail the hell on this one.
Oh my gosh. This reminds me of that Mitch Hedberg joke that Holden just from my panel just told me from Huge, where he's like, I'm going to give you this flyer. Are you going to throw it away or should I? They're all over the chairs. So look, we did an interview with DoorDash, Shauna Prive, the VP of Global Partnerships this week, leading up to Shop Talk. And I think that what I'm noticing, I guess I know you have a rant among all rants to go on for this, but I'll just say what I'm noticing is that from Shipt, we talked to Rena Hurst this week, from Shauna at DoorDash, all of these third-party delivery companies are experimenting all over the place right now because they have to figure out how to make this business profitable. They know that the consumer wants it. They know that the retailers want it, but I think that they're going to have to try, like Instacart is doing, to put out as many levers as possible as they can serve for their retail partners in order to continue to sustain the business. So I think that explains why we're seeing this from Instacart. Now, whether or not grocers, especially, and retailers are going to give this business up to Instacart, they're going to trust Instacart to be white labeling this kind of stuff. I have a really hard time swallowing that. Yeah.
Well, I think DoorDash is very different in how they're approaching it. Like they've still got the restaurant side of the business. They're going into their own retail, which Instacart is basically shunning that option at this point. If you listen to them talk, they've got the add-on feature to their orders. Like they're doing some really unique and innovative things. They've got the scale. But yeah, you're right. I'm going to go on a rant, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because
let's hear it.
And shout out to Steve Dennis, because Steve Dennis said he loves my rants on the show. So Steve, this rant is for you. This bud's for you. I would describe this whole strategic positioning with one word, and that is pathetic. That is the word that I think best describes Instacart over the whole past year, to be quite honest with you.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I think she's been on the helm 7 months. I think I wrote in Forbes last year that soon we're going to be calling this the company formerly known as Instacart. And because it goes to what you just said, which is when you're using gig workers to pick, pack, and deliver goods, that is ultimately a non-differentiated skill set amongst all the players.
Right.
Really, there's nothing you're really bringing to the table. And when I go in deep on the flyer that was left on the table, two of the services really just quite honestly, they piss me off. First is like the end-to-end fulfillment. Based on what at this point? Based on what have you shown the marketplace that you're able to do that?
Right.
You talked about micro fulfillment partnerships. Where are those?
Right.
Why haven't we seen those? Mm-hmm. But the one that really makes me pissed, it's downright laughable, Ann, is the in-store technology.
Agree.
I mean, come on, like what? It's laughable. It's just so laughable. Like what? Because of Caper? Like you're claiming you're an expert on in-store grocery technology? Like what? You can send your workers in to pick goods. What else can you do? What else have you shown that you can do? It shows you how little you understand the operational side of retail in my mind. It shows you how you're thinking about this from the perspective of somebody who came from Facebook to now lead a company that by and large is based on operations. But she's trying to push into ads and all that kind of thing, which you can see.
Yeah, ads make sense. The only other, like, I think counterpoint to the operations piece of it is we are seeing a lot of retailers who are using white label Instacart for fulfillment. Like they're using it to operationalize curbside pickup, like Costco, for example. But that said, I think the whole area of in-store technology is quite broad. And outside of that one use case, I don't know what others.
But even that's not defensible because like we've talked about, delivery orchestration is going to come on. The retailers are going to be able to use whoever they want for all these services. All these services Instacart is trying to claim, all 5 of them are done by other people or done better by other people.
Right.
It's a very competitive space across that landscape. So at the end of the day, like the marketing side where we're probably their best position to make the sell, which is what she was doing on stage. She was trying to say like, come on board with us. We'll co-share the advertising revenue from our platform because we know how to do that so well. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, so do retailers. Right. And you can stand up your own ad network as a retailer. Why would you share that money with Instacart? It makes no sense. Yeah. And I don't even know how she can look Wall Street in the eye on the in-store tech with a straight face. Like, okay, I'm done. I just think it's an absolute joke. And not everyone agrees with me, by the way.
No.
There were a lot of people at the show.
There's a lot of people
very excited about her presentation.
Yes.
And I completely disagree.
Well, I think she gave a good presentation. She was selling hard, but that doesn't mean that what she's selling is something anybody is going to end up buying. Yeah,
and buying into the whole the stock, devaluation as a way to incent new employees. I was like,
that was
all right, come on.
Yeah, that one was not okay with me. But okay. Are you going to be all right?
I'm all right, Ann. I'm all right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little road weary. So I hope everyone knows that in my comments.
Okay.
But I'm feeling good.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to go on to headline number 3. So I love this one.
Yeah, me too.
Red Wing Shoes announced this week that it is rolling out what it calls the ultimate fit experience to all of its 500 plus stores across the nation. Christina, you want to know what that means?
Of course I do, Ann.
All right. So according to Chain Store Age, Red Wing Associates will help customers build a customized fit system, which includes work boots, insole, and socks, starting with a personal assessment of their work environment conditions and safety requirements. This will include the creation of a 3D model of customers' feet by way of another one of our interviews, pre-shop doc.
Yes. So timely.
Yes, it is, with Volumental's 3D foot scanner in store. Mike Van Godem, Red Wing's VP and Chief Services Officer, said about the new offering, quote, "Our previous experience focused on standard 2D measurement and foot pressure points, and now we are enhancing that, adding in gait assessment and whole foot volume 3D measurement. We're excited to merge the art of our purpose-built shoes with the science of this new dynamic tech-driven approach to ensure the best fit for worker comfort and safety," end quote. Chris.
And
are you loving this as much as I am?
I think I'm converted. Yeah, no, I think that Volumental interview, if you guys haven't listened to it yet, OmniTalk fans, go back and check it out because it really changed my perspective of how to think about this whole thing. And the quote I would pull out was when Brent Hollowell from Volumental said, "We envision a future where you go on a website and it's no longer about, size medium, size 12 shoe. It's about size you."
Yes.
And that being the next frontier of e-commerce user experience, which might be lofty as a goal, but if that can get pulled off, and that's what this is driving at really, and Red Wing's on the front end of this for sure. I think that's powerful.
Absolutely.
And I think the data is all there to make that happen for consumers. And I think consumers want that.
Yes.
And I know I know you feel that way, and you're probably going to talk about that, but yeah, I see the floor to you but you have me converted. As you know, I was very kind of skeptical of this, but now I'm very much in there's a there camp.
Oh, I could not agree more. I think what we are going to see, the shifts we're going to see, especially customer satisfaction, number one, obviously finding the right shoe that fits the first time when you are investing in a boot like a Red Wing boot. That is going to be great from a customer's perspective. But Chris, the potential return on investment from the retailers that they're going to see from reduced returns, from higher customer engagement and loyalty, because they know you have, it's like using Apple Pay at the grocery store. Like people are going to start going to places where they're like, I know that if I go to any of these 6 retailers, I'm going to get something that fits me exactly the way that it should, regardless of new additions that come out, you know, 100%. Or new materials that come out. I don't have to worry about that. I'm making things completely convenient. And especially, you know, for Red Wing, I was really happy to see their name attached to this, because a couple of years ago, they came out with these experiential stores, which I was kind of like, that's a cool idea from somebody like me in marketing. But for the actual customer that's coming in to buy Red Wing boots, they didn't need a place to like post up and work in a Red Wing shoe spot. This is a much more strategic and smarter way of bringing customers in and truly using your footprint to serve your customers' needs. So I have to give a ton of kudos to Red Wing and to Volumental for this partnership.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Van Gotham. Used to work with him, know him a little bit.
Oh, I mispronounced his name.
No, it's okay. No worries. I'm sure he's okay with it because
sorry, Mike.
Giving this shout out. But no, it's great. But anyway, like it's a great move. I think a point that you bring home too, Ann, is like, as much as the size you across the e-commerce landscape is aspirational, it can very much be a part of a specific brand experience, especially for those customers that are very tied to a brand like a Red Wing shoes, a Nike, and Adidas as an example, which is a great segue into the next story. All right, Ann, you fought for this one.
Yeah,
you fought for this one.
Like this.
I conceded. It wasn't that much of a push.
I feel like I only had to give you one Guinness before I got you to come to my side on this one.
Yes, we picked our headlines over Guinness last night. Adidas is going big. I mean, huge after college sports, and huge. Rather than going after individual sponsorship deals like Nike, Adidas, and so like Nike and Adidas. Whoa, let me start that over, Ann. That was terrible. Rather than going after individual sponsorship deals like Nike, Adidas, according to CNN, will create a name, image, and likeness network for up to 50,000 college athletes to become paid endorsers for the brand. Tell everyone why you love this story, man.
Okay, I think this is a great idea. You have the Nikes of the world paying millions and millions and millions of dollars to now some college athletes, but primarily like the premier athletes of the world. And I love that Adidas is like, I don't know. Let's take the opposite approach. Let's go to the micro influencers. There's 50,000 college athletes. We're going to like let them be in control of their own destiny. If they feel like they want to post once a week, like great, who cares? We're going to attribute every single sale that comes in from their Instagram account to us. Versus like, you know, these gigantic influencers who, yes, it's cool that, you know, some football stars wearing this particular Nike shoe, but I think that they're going to see a much greater response from the campuses all over the country where it's like, yeah, this guy's the micro influencer on campus, especially like when
BMOC.
The big man on campus, big woman on campus, like
WOC.
That's right. Like, I think that's where we're going to start to see real traction in these localized communities. And I think it opens up a ton of opportunity for Adidas too, to start activations in those spaces, to start thinking about, like we saw Shop Talk, like crazy live content streams spinning off of this. Like there's so much potential here. So that's why I wanted it included.
I think you were smart to want to include it. I'm glad you fought for it. I mean, I the thing I love about the stories this far, they are all great representations of how to think about omnichannel retailing.
Yes.
All of them, even the Instacart one, because it tells you how to not think about it as well, in my opinion. But this one is particularly that too, is particularly on the other side of that. It's great omnichannel retailing because It's the marketplace idea of e-commerce brought to life by way of college athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows me that Adidas understands the long tail game of how e-commerce works. And so, yes, you're right. There's just going to be additive volume over time from all these different micro influencers, so to speak, raising the game for Adidas.
Right.
At a very low cost to Adidas, other than standing up the platform capabilities
Yeah,
for them to do that.
They only pay the influencers if there's sales attributed to them. It's like zero cost up front. Like, let's go.
And I also think it's very much in the ethos of the Adidas brand too, or Adidas if you're in Europe, relative to Nike and how much money they're going to throw at all these college athletes that whatever. But yeah, I love it. I think it's great.
All right, let's go into headline number 5. Yeah, Chris, according to CNBC. Dun dun dun. What's the Judge Judy music? Intro music.
I've never watched Judge Judy.
Okay, Walmart. Dun 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 dun. What was the court from?
People's Court.
People's Court. Yeah, Judge Wapner. Okay,
I have watched that.
All right, I know that one. All right, today in Wapner's court, Walmart is suing BJ's over using scan and go technology. So in the lawsuit, Walmart claims BJ's launched a self-checkout feature in its mobile app that is nearly identical to the Sam's Club Scan and Go app. The article also notes that Walmart holds multiple patents protecting the intellectual property for the self-checkout feature, which they debuted in 2016. Walmart alleges its, quote, innovations were simply taken without permission, end quote, by BJ's, which launched its contactless offering Express Pay in late 2021. Quote, Express Pay is an apparent copy of Sam's Club Scan and Go, merely changing the in-app colors and changing the name from Scan and Go to Express Pay, end quote, the lawsuit says.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, that's you got to check your work on that one, BJ's. That's not looking good for you right now. Chris, what do you think?
Oh, my thoughts are, I love this story. I love this story. Like, I'm not ready to give this headline of the year, but like I'm gonna keep a close eye on my running list of the topics. For
and you say I use so much hyperbole.
It's my new thing now because I was getting crap for it at the show, but but it's close, man. It's close because I love it because it shows Walmart is protecting its turf.
Oh yeah,
which tells me that Scan and Go is working, which we have long said it could and should be tried and deployed for all the reasons, because it personalizes the experience, gives you lots of options to interact with your consumers. And Walmart is going to fight like hell to protect its position in the space, which is not surprising.
Oh man,
good on you, Kath McLay, who's at Shop Talk talking about how important.
Did you see her face when she said that? She was like, we take this very seriously. I was like, dang, get out of Kath McLay's way. She is not messing around here.
Right. And if you can protect that turf, especially in the warehouse club industry, like I think I've shared this on live stream, but my mom signed up for the Sam's Club membership because it was free to get $45 gift card. She used the Scan and Go feature. She's like, I'm never shopping another way.
Yeah.
She's 71 years old. She loves it.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge. So they know, that tells me the market needs to watch this, because it means it tells me Walmart has something.
Yeah.
They're going to fight like hell to keep it. It means other people should figure out how to do it.
Right.
And BJ's, if that isn't all true, like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I hope heads are rolling at headquarters, although they probably can't until after the lawsuit's over because it'll signal something. But yeah, man, this story is so great.
I mean,
it's must-see TV.
It is. It definitely is. I mean, I don't have much more to add, although like there's so much of this technology that is like, I guess it reminded me right away of like computer vision and the checkout free retail space, where like people are using the same types of technology, but you really do have to be very specific in order to be successful down the road. Like, what's differentiating your version of this from another version of this? Or, I don't know. I don't know how you stand out and how you differentiate yourself. So
yeah, it's also going to be really interesting from a legal standpoint to decide where they decide where the bounds of what all these people are doing.
Right, that's a great point.
Begin and end. Like you start thinking about like the Amazon Go checkout free technology, what patents are on that, and who starts fighting whom for what. So it's cool, man. God, what a great freaking week! I love the stories. Shop Talk was awesome.
Yeah,
let's get to the lightning round.
All right, let's get to the lightning round, Chris. Question 1, in the Hot Topic session at Shop Talk here, they were talking live streaming, and they said that millennial men are the largest segment who are purchasing product via live stream in the US. If your 1970s Darth Vader toy that you shared on the show last week was available via live stream, how much would you be willing to pay for it?
Ooh, that probably depends on who's live streaming it to me. Like if it was like
some man dressed in a Darth Vader costume.
No, that probably wouldn't work. But if it was like Angie Everhart, like from like 1995, I'd probably pay like hundreds of dollars for it.
Well,
yeah, I had a big crush on Angie Everhart.
I'm trying to think of who she is.
Bordello of Blood. Great flick. Great
flick. All
right. Skittles is reportedly using AI to ensure all the colors of the Skittle rainbow are correctly distributed in every pack. And do you eat your Skittles one at a time to tell the colors and flavors apart? Or are you more of a throw a gob of them in your mouth all at one time kind of girl?
Well, Chris, I don't feed bag Skittles like you do. Listeners, if you see me sometime, I'll explain exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm fully prepared for the NACS conference this year when there's like free candy giveaways and how bad your diabetes is going to go up. But no, I eat them weirdly, very weirdly, 3 at a time. I like always eat Skittles 3 at a time.
That's so awkward. What does 3 at a time do?
I don't know. It's like I can't even explain it. I've never thought about the way I eat Skittles.
You might as well just chipmunk it if you're going to do 3 at a time.
I know. All right. We're going on to the next question, Chris. Micmac CEO Rachel Tibegraf said in her Shop Talk presentation that 59% of the U.S. population classifies themselves as gamers, including 90% of Gen Z. What was your favorite original Nintendo entertainment system game? NES.
Oh, that's so easy. And it's Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I think I've said that on the show before. Hands down.
I know, maybe you have.
Soda Popinski, Don Flamenco. It was a merchant's early pre-pubescent dream. I'm telling you, it was great.
That was a great game. I loved it.
All right, and last question. Walmart is reportedly halting the sale of cigarettes in some stores. And since last week you casually told our loyal OmniTalk fans of smoking during your high school years at Applebee's, what cigarette brand are you most jonesing for at the end of this long Shop Talk week?
Ooh,
how bad are you jonesing for?
I would take a P-Funk in a heartbeat now.
What's a P-Funk?
A Parliament.
A Parliament?
Yeah.
Parliament or Parliament Light?
No, just Parliament.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're like Black Wonder over here.
Yeah, actually, like that sounds real good right now.
It probably does, right?
That and a stiff drink now. Right? Just like, all right.
Well, I think we might have to have a stiff drink after this. All right. Happy birthday today to Ewan McGregor, Christopher Walken, and the woman who was always there to put the fringe on top of the Surrey for my late great father, Shirley Jones. And remember, if you can only read or listen to one retail blog in the business, make it OmniTalk. Our Fast Five podcast is the quickest, fastest rundown of all the week's top news. And our twice weekly newsletter tells you the top 5 things you need to know each day, and also features special content exclusive to us and just for you. And we try really hard to make it fit all within the preview pane of your inbox. You can sign up today at www.omnitalk.blog. Thanks as always for listening in. Please remember to like and leave us a review wherever you happen to listen to your podcast or on YouTube. We were moving up the charts again this week on Apple Podcasts. Please leave us a review. It makes a huge difference for us.
There or in person at a trade show. If you see us, we want to hear from you. Thanks for doing that this week, guys.
Absolutely. And be sure to check out all of our coverage from Shop Talk this past week on our LinkedIn page. And of course, as always, be careful out there.
The OmniTalk Fast 5 is a Microsoft-sponsored podcast. Microsoft Cloud for Retail connects your customers, your people, and your data across the shopper journey, delivering personalized experiences and operational excellence. And is also brought to you in association with the A&M Consumer and Retail Group. The A&M Consumer and Retail Group is a management consulting firm that tackles the most complex challenges and advances its clients, people, and communities toward their maximum potential. CRG brings the experience, tools, and operator-like pragmatism to help retailers and consumer products companies be on the right side of disruption. And Takeoff. Takeoff is transforming grocery by empowering grocers to thrive online. The key is micro-fulfillment, small robotic fulfillment centers that can be leveraged at a hyper-local scale. Takeoff also offers a robust software suite so grocers can seamlessly integrate the robotic solution into their existing businesses. To learn more, visit takeoff.com. And Sezzle. Sezzle is an innovative buy now, pay later solution that allows shoppers to split purchases into 4 interest-free payments over 6 weeks. To learn more, visit Sezzle.com.